the Young Bucks, man, they cut some mean promos. Both guys cut some mean promos on BTE. This was a tough one to swallow because of the stipulations on there. And really the best I've seen SCU. I mean, the Young Bucks looked amazing as well in a long time. SCU put on a clinic. They went out with a bang, that's for sure. Kazarian was phenomenal. Some of the stuff he was doing, that springboard, you're from the outside inside stunner. I don't even know what you would call that. Like, I love that move, man. Announcers did a good job, say this is kind of like the rubber match,
Yeah.
And because they split 6-6, career wise. But every single week, I look forward to seeing what the Young Bucks, how stupid they look, how much different they look, how many different danglies they look, and how far they can push it, because they really continue to push it, and it just gets better and better and better, man. But honestly, I think Kazarian stood out the most in this match for me. He really was like the workhorse of it. Obviously, Daniels is that brutal spot against the post and was just gushing blood pretty bad. Really made it more emotional, him just like begging, and Young Bucks still didn't care. And they're continuing to cheat to win. I think that's going to be a theme that they're going to just live up to with their elite posse, especially with Cutler now and then the Good Brothers. Like, they're going to continue to cheat to win. The only gripe I had on the match, which we did see, after the commercial, was like they cut so quick just to that silly segment of trash in the locker room in the back, which honestly I don't think was really necessary. I think they should have focused more on SCU breaking up and them kind of hugging it out on a live versus, being like during the break, but maybe they had to check on Daniels or something. But
that I was going to say, the only thing that I could think of, SPD, was, Daniels was really bloody tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was bad. I rewatched that.
We've seen some blood in AEW. I mean, we've gotten accustomed to seeing some color. Daniels was really, he was really gushing blood through in this match. And so I think maybe that quick cutaway gave the team their opportunity to double check, make sure that he was still okay, and maybe button some things. I mean, he was gushing things just to make sure that he was medically okay, because Daniels definitely got busted up bad tonight, bro. I mean, it for this to be potentially the Fallen Angels' last match. As a guy, like, for me, I know that I'll speak about like my fandom of Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian. I loved watching those guys in TNA. I loved watching, dating back to that. Even me, dude, I loved Christopher Daniels when he was Curry Man. Ha! Spicy.
They were talking about that in the chat.
Oh, I mean, he was just like, Daniels is a legend, and to me, I really was a big fan of what TNA was doing in their early stages of that company with the 6-sided ring and the X Division and really trying to transform North American wrestling. They opened up my eyes in a lot of ways to see different talents and a different presentation to professional wrestling, a lot more athleticism, a lot more focus in on the talent in the ring rather than the larger than life personalities and all those things. I have to give credit to Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian for, I feel like, doing their legacy justice tonight. For guys who have had long, incredible careers, it was a fitting match that they would go up against. Truly one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling and probably our lifetime. SPD, the Young Bucks are a team that they're gonna be at the top of the list for a lot of folks, and it's no wonder why you felt like this was one of the best showcases of SCU. They're going against the Bucks, who don't really seem to have a bad match against anybody. These guys bring out the best in everybody. We've talked about it here at Dynamite Download week after week. We get opportunities that the Top Flight, the Acclaimed. You have all these teams who have made a name, kind of debuting at the Bucks' expense. And I think it was fitting that you get to put these legends in the ring with them and really tell a very compelling story. This image that you have here, where Frank, Daniel's begging, pleading for the Bucks, and the way the match played out makes a lot of sense for us as fans, right? SPD. I mean, you and I have talked about this a lot with SCU. Frankie Kazarian very much still, even into his 40s, is an absolute workhorse in the ring. This dude can go with the best of them. He showed it tonight. He carried the weight while Daniels was busted up and hurt. Kaz was really going a 2-on-1 match for a lot of this match.
Yeah, he did great.
And I felt like that really told the compelling story of this team fracturing, falling apart. You saw them give it everything they had. Right. Really wasn't an awesome match. And then for me, before we throw it back to the next segment, SPD, I also loved how the Young Bucks did a couple callbacks to the HBK. They were really hamming it up tonight with, I'm sorry, I love you, with the Ric Flair HBK moment. That was fantastic. Very well played. These guys are absolutely trolling the wrestling universe right now, and they're doing it with a smile on their face. Really enjoying what the Bucks got going on right now, and that's coming from a guy who is an FTR fanboy. I like those old school teams. The Young Bucks in-ring style isn't necessarily my favorite in the world, but right. I love what they're doing right now. Their character work is absolutely on another level, and I love what the Elite is starting to become. Just like Kenny and Don Callis, like you talked about, dude. Just like
minus the Good Brothers.
Well, even them, I'm digging. Like
that's the train I can't get on,
dude. Like, let's be honest, big Luke Gallows tonight. His dangly was like an earring that my mom would have wore. And then he had the tie-dye shirt. I mean, they're starting to lean into it, and I think that their role is fine for what it is right now. I think that they're kind of like clearly the B team of the Elite, and that's all right. That's okay. You got to have some stooges in any good stable, man.
That's true. I know, but I just can't get on them, man. They're just nauseating on BTE. So, and it's not even funny, man.